All right, class, so here's the project description and pretty much what I went over in class. For those of you who are still a little confused, we're not here or just we're not paying attention. So all of you should be in groups right now that were given to you in your assigned seats. You must also have one packet per group, one computer per group. It'd be helpful if you have one for each person, but one per group will suffice, and your group name. And the whole point of this project is to pretty much show you how systems of equations are used in real life. And I'm going to go over to explain how I got these pictures. There's a problem pretty much that involves Creative Horizon. There's a problem that involves the Mustang and the G37. So here's the packet that you got. Here's a description. It's pretty much what I just said. First and most important part of this is to pick a project. You can do the cell phone plan, which has a description and the problem here. You can choose the car plan, which has a description and the project here, or you can create your own. Just a heads up though, if you do choose to create your own, it's going to be a little bit more difficult because you're going to use class time to find your project, find the data, and get it approved by me. However, you will get extra credit, and I actually really encourage you to do your own, because then you can look at stuff that actually really matters to you. When you're done with that, go on Schoology. There is a discussion called team name, members, and project. All you have to do is submit your team name, members, in your group, and project. One person per group should be fine, and I'll make sure that I go through and everyone gets the credit. Now, before moving on, you need to get my initials so that I know that you're on task. These are pretty much how you're going to be getting credit for the entire week. So if you flip the page over, first thing you'll see is group members. Make sure you write your members up there. Some of you are in groups of 3, some of you are in groups of 4. Now, for the rest of this project, you will only be doing the side that you did. If you picked cell phone plan, do this side. If you pick a car plan, do this side. If you created your own, you will have to let me know so I can help you and give you problems as you go. And again, here's another little description and the project and the first step of it, which is pretty much coming up with an equation. Now, I didn't actually go over this in class, although we did a little bit of it on Study Island and some of it on the extension problems. But your goal is going to be to pretty much come up with an equation for this part, and for this part, or for this part, and for this part. So if you're really confused, it's fine. We didn't go over it in class, but I want to challenge you to come up with the equation. Now, because I didn't actually cover this in class, I want to make sure you got this right. So I want to initial it before you move on, mainly because I want you to do the rest of the problem right. And here's where the math starts. So in bold and in all caps, it says do not start with other members in your group. That means do not start with other members in your group. Don't be the person who wants to be the overachiever and finish it for the rest of the group. Everyone needs to be able to take a part of this. So as it says right here, work on part 1 after watching video 2 and completing classwork 2. For all of these parts, I will show you, it says which video and which classwork you must do before starting that. Please, please, please do that first, because the videos and the classwork will show you how to do these types of problems. There's 3 parts. There's one that's just finding solution by graphing, which is classwork 2. One which is finding solutions using the substitution method, which is classwork 3, and the final one, which is finding solutions using the elimination method, which is classwork 4. So make sure you do those classworks before moving on to the problem. And again, when you're done with that, have one person come up to me, get the initial snap for me, and then you'll be good to move on. So again, I really want to highlight this. You cannot start the project without finishing the classwork. You will be moving it as you go on throughout the week, but you need to do the classwork before you do that specific part of the project. Which means that if you finish first in your group, you should probably go back and help other students in your group catch up. It's one way it will help you learn better, and it will keep everyone on track to make sure that you're working on this together.